Max Verstappen has until October to decide whether he stays at Red Bull. This weekend at Zandvoort is the first race since that window officially opened, and it is also the last Dutch Grand Prix that will ever be held. Because the circuit that came back to the calendar specifically because of Max is now leaving while he is still here. He unveiled a special helmet 4 days ago in white and blue Delftware, the traditional Dutch pottery of the 17th century, and wrote 2 words underneath it. Dankjewel Zandvoort. Thank you Zandvoort. Not see you next year. Not until we meet again. Thank you. A man who has not said a single public word about his own future just said goodbye to his home race in his mother tongue. This weekend, both stories reach the same track at the same time. To understand what Zandvoort means, you need to understand why it came back. The Dutch Grand Prix returned to the calendar in 2021 after a 36-year absence, and the event was always seen as one that was only possible under the unique circumstances provided by Max Verstappen, with its fate intertwined with that of the Red Bull driver. Before Max, there was no commercial case for Zandvoort, a short, technically demanding circuit on the North Sea coast with no government subsidy and no sovereign wealth fund behind it, the type of venue modern Formula One has been systematically replacing with state-backed desert races. Race director Robert van Overdijk confirmed the circuit decided not to renew its contract, saying, "We are a privately owned and operated business, and we must balance the opportunities presented by continuing to host the event against other risks and responsibilities. We have decided to go out on a high. Going out on a high means leaving while Max is still racing. Lando Norris won in 2024. Oscar Piastri won in 2025. The circuit that Max made possible has been won by McLaren for 2 consecutive years. The symmetry of that fact does not need explaining. Here is what Max built at this circuit across 6 years. He won the first Dutch Grand Prix on return in 2021. He won again in 2022 as world champion. He won again in 2023 as the most dominant driver in the sport's history, completing a season in which Red Bull won 21 of 22 races, and Zandvoort was one of them. The Delftware helmet is the visual full stop, a deliberately, proudly Dutch design for the final time the Orange Army will fill the dunes for a world championship race. More than 1 million fans have attended the Dutch GP since its return in 2021. Every single edition has been sold out. The 2026 race sold out before a single session was confirmed. These are not fans who came to watch a race. They are fans who came to watch one driver, and they have filled the dunes every August, regardless of whether Max was fighting for a title or fighting to survive a midfield season. This weekend they are doing the latter, and they came anyway. 4 days ago, on August 14th, Max posted the helmet reveal on his social media. The design abandons his standard 2026 color scheme for a white and blue colorway inspired by traditional Dutch Delftware ceramics, incorporating intricate floral patterns and ornate blue detailing around the lower edges, with his trademark lion logo integrated into the crown. Underneath the images, he wrote, "For my last home race, Dankjewel Zandvoort." The circuit's official account responded, "Our pleasure, Max. It's an honor to have you in Zandvoort. One final Dutch GP together." Red Bull Racing responded, "A special helmet for a special race. Ready for one last charge around Zandvoort." A special clothing line in the same Delft blue theme sold out within hours of going live. Now read the caption again. "For my last home race." Not for the circuit's last race. For his. He is not just saying goodbye to Zandvoort. He is saying goodbye to something that belonged to him, and doing it in the most deliberately, carefully Dutch way possible, with 17th century pottery as the visual language. Here is the thing that makes this weekend unlike any Dutch GP that came before it. Max Verstappen's exit clause activated after the Hungarian Grand Prix on July 26th. He is sitting P6 in the championship, more than 110 points behind Antonelli. The exact conditions that triggered the performance clause his own lawyers wrote into his contract. He has until October to formally act on it, which means he arrives at Zandvoort this weekend as technically a free agent for the first time in his Formula One career. Every previous Dutch GP, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, he was under a binding Red Bull contract with no active exit mechanism. This is the first time he has stood on the Zandvoort grid with the option to leave legally available and the window fully open. The Orange Army filling those dunes do not know which door he is walking toward. He has not told them. He has not told anyone. He wrote, "Dankjewel Zandvoort," and let that silence speak for everything else. The full picture entering this weekend. Max sits 6th in the championship. Mercedes lead the constructors with 379 points across 8 wins from 11 races. Ferrari are second with 307. McLaren third with 220. Red Bull fourth with 177. The only top 4 team yet to win a race in 2026. Zandvoort is a sprint weekend for the first time, one practice session. Sprint qualifying, sprint race Saturday. Grand Prix qualifying Saturday afternoon. Race Sunday. The compressed format means Red Bull have almost no time to fix setup problems before competitive laps begin. The event promoter Sport Vibes confirmed the race is not economically viable long-term, with the decision to end the contract made from a position of strength rather than crisis. Norris won here in 2024. Piastri won in 2025. Both times, the Orange Army watched a McLaren driver take the checkered flag at Max's circuit. This weekend, McLaren arrive as the 3rd fastest team. Red Bull arrive as the 4th. The last Dutch Grand Prix will be decided by what happens in the next 72 laps on Sunday, and Max has never lost a race at Zandvoort that he started from the front row. So here is what this weekend actually is. It is Max Verstappen's last home race at the circuit that only came back because of him, saying goodbye in Delft blue and 2 words of Dutch before a single lap has been driven. It is also the first race of his career where a legal exit from Red Bull is sitting open in his pocket with no public decision made. Both of those things are true simultaneously, the farewell and the free agency, and they have collided at the exact same track, in the exact same weekend, in front of the exact same orange crowd that has followed him here every August since 2021. Subscribe, because whatever happens on Sunday, the next video covers the race result and what it means for the clause decision still coming before October. The open question that 72 laps at Zandvoort begins to answer. If Max wins his last Dutch Grand Prix in a car his team has internally written off, does he stay to finish what they started together? Or does winning it make leaving feel like the perfect ending?